right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kapadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Alright, and what I want to get into today, is going into the M.O.T.B plot twist. Alright, and the M.O.T.B plot twist. Okay, because in the midst, of all this war, all this, back and forth, and there's a lot going on. War is, dominating, the news feeds, the YouTube. All right, the social media, dominated by, war footages of war, the back and forth, and we get into these things, okay? And that's the thing to get into because it's prophecy, man, major prophecy, man. And this war different, okay? This war is World War III, okay? This is the makings of World War III. We're in it, okay? It just has to escalate to the point of nuclear, all right, war, in which America gonna be a desert, okay? But we also have to remember that there's going to be an M.O.T.B plot twist. All right? Where these devils, in the midst of all this that's going on, okay, this devil is going to implement this M.O.T.B. He's going to introduce the world to this M.O.T.B. All right? And right now, matter of fact, let's read this precept and then we'll expound on it. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark or a charagma in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man, verse 17, that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay? So he calls it all, which means he's going to mandate it. That's making, when it's going to cause it, that's going into making it mandatory. Okay? And what better way, all right, to mandate the M.O.T.B., okay, when the earth is in dire straits, okay, because the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, all right, could be a perfect storm for the elites, to go ahead and crash this thing, to speed this thing up, okay, to where, okay, the Strait of Hormuz closed, it's affecting the world market, okay, you got, this oil, which the oil is the energy of the earth. The way this industrial, okay, system is set up, oil is the energy, okay, for this industrial commercial system that run these countries, man. Okay, so if oil, all right, is scarce, then energy is scarce. If energy is scarce, production is scarce. Okay, and if oil goes up, the price of doing business goes up. So it can be a major ripple effect. And also what the devil can do too, is he can do a cyber attack. And it's easy for him to do a cyber attack and just blame it on Iran. See, right now he can blame Iran for everything that he wants to do. Anyway, everything that he was planning to do anyway, he can just blame Iran for it now. Okay, he can do a cyber attack, a false flags, Black Swan events, bank closures, and he could do a lot of things. He could spin this a lot of ways with this war, because it's gonna be a M.O.T.B plot twist, M.O.T.B plot twist in the game somewhere. Okay, and this is the perfect scenario for these devils to go ahead with their move. See, Esau was losing, but on his way out, man, he's gonna attempt this new world order. And everything that he's doing is working against him. Okay? And the Lord got it set up to where he think he has some type of chance. So this devil gonna go with his move. He has no option. This is what Esau was created to do. Is to try to pull this off. Okay, and the Lord gonna show his power when he destroy this man. Okay? But this devil, when you go here, Revelation 12 and 12. And it said, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Okay? And see, we have to understand, our expectations is in the heavens. what the Heavenly Father is getting ready to bring to the earth, man. You know, the righteous kingdom that the Lord is going to bring into the earth. Okay, our expectations in the heavens, as it says in the book of Colossians, man. Okay, but the people that have their expectation in this earth, man, it's finna be bad. Woe. And woe is what? A war. You know, destruction. You see? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. And see, this man has been on a rampage. This man has been on the war path. You know, about this last year, ever since Trump got in, the elites have really pushed the gas and just been on the war path. He's been at war with the American citizens. He's been at war with Venezuela. Okay, he's been at war, all right, with Syria, with Iran. Okay, he's been there with the Yemen. You know, the U.S. Navy had a war with Yemen. You know, so this man has been on the war path. Okay, he's always been at war, but things have intensified, and now his latest stunt, this war with Iran, which is the end of this man. Okay, because he walked right into the trap that the Most High laid for him, man. Okay, to the least, this looked like a sweet deal. Okay, but to us, we know it's his end. Okay, so in the midst of everything that this man got going on, expect the M.O.T.B plot twist to come in somewhere to where he begins to mandate this thing. All right, things start going digital, things start crashing. Okay, then and able to plug back in to this system, man. You're gonna have to have this technology, man. Okay, because he really needs to move the needle, especially over here in America. You know, he has his biggest work cut out for him in America. All right, which a lot of these people, it's gonna be easy for these people to bend the knee when things get scarce. Okay, when he really put the squeeze. Okay, but he just has his most work cut out for him in America, man. Okay, because these other nations are already further along. Okay, and being digital. Okay, you have nations that are farther than America in being digital, man. All right, but America gonna be the most bloodiest. Okay, they know they're gonna have to come on and just come with their hammer in America, man. They're gonna have to really weaken American society, man. You know, and sending the youth off to this war. All right, look, to a meat grinder, because that's one thing too. These elites, okay, they'll use these wars as a meat grinder, okay, for the youth, man. Okay, they use this war to just be a big meat grinder for the youth, man. Okay, and a sacrifice to Satan. Even this devil blowing up like in Iran, the first thing that, you know, first of course he killed the supreme leader, and then what did he do? He struck a school, okay, with elementary school girls. All right, that was a sacrifice to Satan, man. This is you know, these devils, they do this, man. Everything they do is intertwined, okay, with Baal worship, man. Okay, these are modern day Canaanites, man. Okay, so everything they do is intertwined with Baal worship, man. Okay, but what's happening, the Lord, all right, is intervening, and now the Lord speeding this thing up to where, hey, it's a war brewing. So that's why it said, knowing, man, let me finish this. It said, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having a great wrath, because he knoweth that he have a short time. Okay, and the Lord is speeding this thing up, man. You see? Like Trump said, we are ahead of schedule. See, the Lord is speeding this nigga up, man. Okay? The Most High got Esau sped up in his agenda, man. The Most High causing things to happen that this devil ain't got nothing to do with, man. Okay? Now, the least got their hand in a lot of things, man. You know, and they in the background orchestrating, and they capitalize, you know, off of war. You see? But this war, they're not going to capitalize off this war, man. This is the war that's going to end their ass, man. Okay? So, but in the midst of this, just so, because, of course, you know, we go hard into this war. You know how we do. All right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. But also just a reminder, it's going to be an M.O.T.B plot twist that this nigga going to implement, all right, this technology, man. All right, and he has a perfect storm right now where he can just, cause things to happen quickly. See, war changes things quickly. See, a war, you can get a lot done. Okay? Like they're saying from Vladimir Lenin. Okay? Hey, there's decades when nothing happened, and there's weeks when decades happen. We in that time now. We in the time of weeks when decades are happening, man. Okay? So this devil, you best believe, all right, he's going to try to take full opportunity, okay, of what's in front of him, man. He's gonna spin this war, all right, in favor of his agenda, okay. But see, this war is gonna keep going, and it's gonna go out of control, man. He's not gonna be able to contain this war, man. Okay, the devil, he's not gonna be able to contain this war, all right. When you go here, I think there's the book of Micah, so like, you know. It's Micah, and then I think it's one in Isaiah too. Let's see. This is Micah chapter 4. This is the book of Micah chapter 4. Yep, this is Micah 4 and 11. It said, "Now also many nations are gathered against thee. They say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion," man. Okay? Because we know the number one thing on the devil's agenda, he wants to get rid of the real Israelites, man. Especially those calling on the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, man. He wants to do away with true Israel, man. Okay? That's heavy on the devil's agenda too. So that's how we know the M.O.T.B plot twist, and we still got Jacob Trouble. Okay? So they're still on the board as well. All right? The Most High done kicked this war into another gear. This Third World War, he done thrust this thing into another gear. And we're going to continue to follow that, man. We're going to continue to follow all these things, man. Okay? But you got the M.O.T.B plot twist and Jacob Trouble as well. Okay? But when you keep reading, all right, because these devils in the back scheming. At least they're in the background scheming, all right, how to spin this the best way into their favor. They have certain, things in motion. Certain things are failing. Certain things still on par. Okay? But this devil, he's weary trying to pull this off, man. It said, verse 12, "But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as sheaves into the floor." Okay? So these devils, they don't fully understand. There's things that they know a lot. Okay? They enlighten on the left hand side. All right? But they're not privy to everything that the Lord is getting ready to do, man. Okay? They have a lot of blind spots, man. Okay? And the Most High getting ready to dismantle this man. You see? And the Lord is dismantling this man. Okay? But on his way out, he's going to go out with Jacob Trouble and this M.O.T.B. And then this third world going to go nuclear. He out of here, man. He gone. He done. So the M.O.T. mandate, that's going to be something to rejoice. When he makes this thing mandatory, that's going to be something to rejoice, man. Because that's it. Now it's just any moment now. After the M.O.T.B. and he starting to implement it and people getting it, and, he get to a certain point, then, hey, the nukes going to go off, and Howard shot, all right, is going to be on the scene, man, So that's the point. Just wanted to get into that. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters, edified to the next time I say shalom. Calling my shalom, abba, soon, shalom.